When we talk about procurement, we often talk about costs, risks, innovation and performance. But there's another topic I believe deserves just as much attention: nurturing talent. Over the course of my career, I've come to realize that talent is perhaps the most strategic asset any procurement organization can have. And yet, in many companies, it's managed like just another resource, allocated, rotated, and occasionally promoted, without much deliberate thought to what truly unlocks someone's potential. Let me tell you a story that stuck with me for over 25 years. I was working with a client in Lyon, a very solid industrial company. Their procurement organization was well respected internally, their processes were clear, and the career ladder was steady, almost predictable. Then a young graduate from Polytechnique joined the team. An elite background, of course, but what really stood out was the speed at which he progressed. He moved up 2 or 3 levels in just 6 months, a path that would normally take others 5 years. It was clear to everyone. His was a fast track, a high potential candidate who knew how to navigate the system and get noticed. It worked, and while it's certainly one way to do it, it's not the only one. Around the same time, I was leading a transformation program for a German white goods manufacturer. Part of the project was focused on China sourcing, and I took the client on a long trip through the coastal provinces, visiting dozens of potential suppliers in cities that today are global manufacturing hubs, but back then were just starting to emerge. One of my team members on the trip was a consultant of Chinese origin. He had moved to Germany as a child, so he was perfectly fluent in both cultures, and that made him the glue between the client and Chinese suppliers. But his real magic happened in the long hours we spent in the van on Chinese highways. To keep everyone entertained and engaged, he would sing, loudly alternating between German and Chinese folk songs. It was hilarious, slightly chaotic, and utterly unforgettable. The client loved it, not just the singing, but the authenticity, the emotional intelligence, the cultural dexterity. After the trip, they made him an offer he couldn't refuse. A few years later, he was running their entire China operations. That's nurturing talent too, not through a formal HR program, but by recognizing potential in the wild and creating space for it to grow. Of course, most large companies do have formal talent programs, succession planning, coaching frameworks, competency models. And these can be useful. But let's be honest, they are often time-consuming, bureaucratic, and disconnected from the day-to-day. I've seen too many talent reviews where we debate whether someone is a strong 3 or a developing 4 without ever talking to the person in question. In contrast, there's a more human approach, one based on curiosity, attention, and instinct. And maybe I'm biased, but typically when I started working with a new client, I could quickly identify those team members who would rise through the ranks. Not because I have a crystal ball, but because talent, real talent, reveals itself in small ways. A sharp question, an insightful observation, a surprising sense of ownership from someone still early in their career. When I spot people like that, I try to give them room. A stretch assignment, exposure to senior leaders, or sometimes just a few words of encouragement that signal, I see you, I believe in you. Because here's the thing, talent development is not just about training programs and performance reviews. It's about storytelling. It's about creating an environment where people believe in their own potential and then pushing them gently but firmly to go beyond it. It also requires a shift in mindset from managing to coaching. When you manage someone, you assign tasks and check deliverables. When you coach someone, you challenge their thinking, you help them find their voice, and you support them as they navigate uncertainty. The best leaders I've worked with are not always the smartest, but they are the ones who build other leaders around them. And sometimes nurturing talent means taking a risk, promoting someone before they tick all the boxes, letting someone present to the board even if they're nervous, or supporting someone sideways move because you know it will pay off in the long run. In today's world, talent has more options than ever. If you don't create an environment where they feel seen, challenged and supported, someone else will. The war for talent is not one with salaries alone. It's one with purpose, trust and growth. So whether you're a CPO or a team leader, a mentor or a peer, look around. Who is ready to grow? Who is waiting for a chance? And what will you do to make it happen? Thank you for watching and see you next time in the park.